Sassy girl. Sassy girl. Sassy girl.
Could take weeks, sir.
Qapla, everyone. Okay, we can turn it back. I took it off. I took the camera off for a minute. There we go. That's perfect. That's fine. Thank you. Qapla, everyone, and welcome to Friday's Bedlife. That's fine. It's good. Yes, Friday's Bedlife for October 4th, 2019. You got a little treat of our Sassy Cam. Now, Sassy's a lot more active than Auntie, so we can't just keep it trained on her the entire stream, because she'll be moving around, especially since Mamo Prey is actually cooking dinner tonight. Not actually, but actually cooking dinner as I stream tonight. So Sassy will probably be more active than usual. Shronmore was first. Welcome, Shronmore. Thomas Potts says hi. Cinnabon Bunny calls first, but no Cinnabon. I have you down as number 3, and do remember to switch to live chat. Cinnabon then calls first a second time. Alexander Brooks says not first. That is correct. Thomas Potts with a $1.99 super chat says Karoga eats babies. No, Thomas, that's not Karogans. Those are loony New Yorkers who want to eat babies. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will be playing the clip a little later. Shrumwar says, greetings, Birdo Prey, Mamo Prey, and fellow nerds. The evil leader of Turdistan, Anti-Trekker, is watching. I think he might be. We are all happy. Anti-Trekker, everything went well yesterday, to the best, that I've been told, and I did talk with Anti-Trekker today, and he is still aiming to stream later this evening. So, very good stuff. Scratch Street says, oh look, Bird ordered from Bird and Alpaca Beagle Bits. No. Show more and greetings to Sassy. That's you. Chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels, indeed. It's a fake! Who was that? Oh, Yosef! Yosef Patrick Friday. I thought it's October. Yeah, it's both October and Friday. Thomas says, did anyone else get 2 notifications for the stream? Really, 2 notifications? Cinnabon did 2. I guess YouTube is making up. Send some streams 2 notifications. Send other streams 0 notifications. Mamo Prey is checking. Mamo Prey's definitely got 1. Shromore says alpaca. Miss Londell says Qapla, Miss Londell. Cinnabon, still no alpaca cam. No, I'm sorry. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bird and all. Welcome, Rambling Canuck. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. I hope you're feeling a lot better, but realistically, I hope you're feeling a little bit better. At least. Josh Streets is down with Bird until she or he changes her name to Alpaca O Prey 5. Or Sassy will be taken by Darth Raven to the backdoor Bird of... Mamo Prey's very upset. 10 people are watching and not a single like. And you had Sassy. You had Sassy on for the first minute and a half or 2 minutes. Very upsetting. No. Mamo Prey's crying. Now you got Mamo Prey crying, people. Because you didn't like Mamo Prey is crying. Because they didn't like Sassy. Aw, poor Mamo Prey. We need to record you crying so that people remember to like. John Araki with a $1 super chat, and John Araki got lucky right off the bat. Congratulations, John Araki. That is the sound of two hands clapping. Thomas's Bird of Prey, I heard she was faking it. Yeah, Thomas, I'm watching that. I was 99.9% sure she was absolutely faking it. The part that she was taking off her clothes to reveal something on her shirt, probably a website address that, I mean, couldn't quite see, that kind of sealed the deal for me. She did not sound legit at all, which I guess is good. I mean, honestly, it would be really nobody's going to get to that point. Even the crazy lefties aren't going to get to that point that they're going to say we need to eat the babies. Now they might say something else, maybe not have the babies, but they're not going to eat the babies. I don't know who she said that we should be eating dead people. That's crazy too, but
no, eat them alive.
Yeah. Cinnabon, who is Score Street? I have no idea. Scratch Street? Did I say something? Scratch Street? Yosef says, and the usual hi to Joe, Mamo Pray, Sassy, and the flock. Thank you, Yosef. Mr. Lodell says, I actually got a notification today. Very cool. Yosef says, I have mom, sis, boyfriend, and niece visiting, so I am with you. Thank you, Yosef. Very cool. John Araki says, alpaca-sized Dax. You want me to alpaca-sized Dax? That would be disturbing. Alexander Brooks, I liked it. Okay. Josh Street says, Mamo Pray, we like to stream. Oh, you'd like to stream. I got you. Thank you, Alexander. Josh Street says, Mamo Pray 5, we will like to stream if Bird puts on more Sassy Cam. Well, Sassy's outside right now. I don't know. Unless she happens to be on one of the security cameras, which she is not. Yeah, I do not have a camera up right now. Sassy knows the weak spots in the security net, and she can get around them because of her little legs. Chishromore says, remember the alpaca mo. John Araki says, TGIF mofos. Judsia! Yes, you got lucky. It was a good Friday. Mr. Miles, chief engineer, says, first, you were the first wrench on the channel, I believe, Mr. Miles. So. John Araki says, the SJWs would eat the white men first. The white babies first. Cinnabon Bunny says, I don't know how to like a video on my phone. That's okay. Yosef says, I choked on the thumb. It's now blue, Mom. No need for tears. We do not need to see Joe cry. Josh Street says, Mr. Miles, you miss Sassy. Yes. Chaser, close cat. Close chat, hit like, reopen chat. That's how you do it on the phone. Don't close the chat. Oh, the chat. Yeah, okay. Don't close the video. Nicole Malo says, oh, you're live for Undead. It is Spooktober. Lol. Yeah, Mama Pro was just telling me I have to get a Halloween costume this year. It's like, why do I need a Halloween costume? Gosh, shit. I don't usually do Halloween costumes. Shronmore says, I saw V put out a video about that incident. He said it was a brilliant troll on a complete psychopath. The woman looked deranged, and even AOC looked like a rabbit in the headlights. I have to say, and God knows, I hate having to defend AOC in any way. However, being the fact that I'm an honest person, AOC handled that well. In fact, she handled it very well. I cannot There's nothing I can criticize her about the way she handled that. She didn't lose her temper. She didn't tell the women to get the F out of here. She tried to lead her back to some type of sanity multiple times, and then I guess security finally woke up and got her the hell out of there. But if it was a troll, I think it backfired, because I think AOC actually came out of it looking better than she otherwise would. So it was a poor troll if it was a troll. Miss Lowendale says, Vertebrae, so you think Looney Tunes cannibal chick was faking it? Didn't AOC agree with what she was saying? She didn't. No. In fact, AOC did walk back. So she did walk back. She said, no, we've got more than a few months. And then she started to say, well, we always have hope. We'll always have hope. So she's like, she kind of got AOC to admit that instead of it being in a super urgent issue that we have to deal with super immediately, AOC let up, we have more time, and then she wouldn't even give a specific deadline. She's like, well, we can always work. We can always have hope. We can always... So it's like she did get AOC to back off a little bit, but considering the things she was saying, you really can't hold AOC to any of that, because she was clearly dealing with a crazy woman, and she'd be justified in saying just about anything to make sure the woman wasn't a danger to herself or others. John Araki heard of alpacas. Sharon says, John Araki, SJW thinks straight white men are toxic, so they would just leave our bodies to rot. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Nicole Malo says, recovering from Sofazilla drug. It's from the garage for pickup, fall cleanup. Ah, yes, fall cleanup. Cinnabon, I figured it out. Thanks, Joseph. Darth Raven, formerly Godspeed, formerly Black Adam, formerly Darth Raven, says, Vertebrae, Sassy will be taken from the back door, the roof will be removed off the house, and my new batch of mystery meat will be airlifted into my Korean restaurant, Beagle Bites TM. Mama Pray says you'll have to get past her. Darth Raven, I just read that. Mr. Mouse says, Bird of Prey. So sorry. Mr. Mouse says, Bird of Prey. It's like you're on every stream I am on. So after Lore Reloaded stopped streaming earlier, and I don't know, I might have taken a nap, I forget. Oh no, I was playing Space Engineers. I was making a deep space run. I found some more deep space platinum asteroids, and I got pretty damn close to the moon and to the restaurant, but then I turned back to Karoga, and when I got back, I went on YouTube, and I saw Axanar was streaming, and I know about Axanar being sued again. So I said, well, let's see what's going on at Axanar, and Jesus Christ, what a crap show the Axanar stream was. Now, I've never been to an Axanar stream before, but I hope this is not how it normally is, Mr. Miles, but they were streaming an actress talking about something. The audio, they had no audio. It was like they were using a camera that was 40 feet away from the woman. The people doing the computers and the cameras were talking amongst themselves. They were coming in louder than the woman they were trying to film. And every 60 seconds, the camera, the video would go bad. They blamed it on the heat. One person said it was 90 degrees. Another person said 95 degrees. Another person said it was 150 degrees. Then some guy comes in and gets really serious, angry almost at everybody and yells at everyone. I was like, holy shit. That guy didn't even know they were live streaming. But even if he didn't, that seemed like a very toxic environment, on Axanar. It also seemed like they didn't have a clue as to how to record things, and if they can't broadcast a simple live stream, I have great questions how they're going to make Axanar, except that they did make Prelude to Axanar, which was very, very good, so maybe there's just a different team. But if I was choosing to invest in a movie or something, and this was the production I saw, I would run away, even though I can't run. I would run away as fast as I could from the little bit I saw today. Now, granted, I think I caught them at their very, very bad time. And JP from Egotastic Fun Time was there. I didn't expect to see him there. I had no idea he was there. He was there too for some reason. I don't know if he's become involved. But apparently Axanar started production today, which is a day or two after they got served or something from CBS. They're still taking super chats and they're still pushing their Patreon, which is all things CBS had problems with. So I listen, I want to see whatever Axanar makes. I loved Prelude to Axanar. I loved that goddamn Ares ship. It looks good. I love those Klingon D5s. The production is great. I'm just concerned about the people and the lawsuits and the legal stuff behind it. I have a bad feeling it is never going to be finished. But I hope I am wrong. I'm not making a prediction here, unlike my prediction on Orville, which I was completely right on. And I'm not even saying jokingly. I was 100% right. My prediction was the Orville was canceled from Fox. The Orville was never going to air on Fox again. And it turned out to be 100% right. I said Hulu might pick it up. I hope Hulu picks it up. And they did. They missed their deadline. If they thought they were going to be on Fox, they would have been filming 6 months ago. So they missed half a season because they didn't know where they were going to be, because either Fox said no, or Fox, whatever the reason, they were canceled from Fox. So yes, I was right about Orville. I was right about number 1 being the dog's name in Picard. And I'm not making a prediction on Axanar, but I'm just hoping that I'm wrong. I'm just hoping that they get their act together and Axanar gets out, because I do want to see it. Mr. Mouse is even this one. I'm on every stream he's on, even this one. Darth says, Bird of Prey, Halloween idea. Corpse put out candy around you. A corpse puts candy around you? Defend Vidi AOC, says John Araki. Mike Richards says, Bird of Prey for Halloween, you have the alpaca hat. That's exactly what I turned Mama Prey 5. She said I needed something more. Admiral Saval says, yo, Bird of Prey 5. Welcome, Admiral Saval. Nicole says, my costume, a human being with common sense. Very good. And very rare. John Araki says, Bird of Prey should dress as AOC 5 for Halloween, or an alpaca. Admiral Saval says, felicitations from Chesapeake, Virginia. Welcome. Chesapeake, Virginia is in the house. Actor says, hi guys. Welcome, Actor. Stronmore says, greetings to Actor. Nicole says, Mama prays one tough cookie, don't cross her, lol. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey on Twitter and Discord is priceless. Going into Joker, you get patted down and bag searched, and they have ambulances outside the hospitals? Sure, they have ambulances outside the movie theaters to take you to the hospital? But I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, I heard from the Nerdrotic review that they were getting patted down, that there were metal detectors. So far, Doomcock, Nerdrotic, and Midnight's Edge After Dark all really like the movie. I have not heard of a bad review yet from the people I follow. I mean, I guess I'd like to see the movie, but obviously I'm not going to go out to the movies to see it. It's not something I care that much about. So when it gets, like Rambo, when it gets to some type of digital media or whatever, I will watch it. Yeah, it's just crazy that they went crazy with this movie because, that guy in Colorado shot that movie theater for the last Batman, whatever, Joker movie. And you know what? Had they not brought it up, nobody probably would have even remembered. And certainly no one would be thinking about doing anything. But now, probably you have people thinking about doing things. And even if you don't, you've got a lot of people in fear of going. No doubt it's hurt the movie. Actors is Jolowin. What's that shown more? Cinemas, yes. Darth Raven, right. Outside the cinemas, not the hospitals. Derek McManus says, hey there, bird of prey. Don't eat those uranium cakes. Yeah. John Araki says, is Darth Raven a mashup of Star Wars and Teen Titans? I don't know. Multi-Gunman says, hey bird, how's it going? It's going good, Multi-Gunman. How are you? Derek says, Darth Raven, you would enjoy being patted down. Mr. Miles says, bird of prey, you lacked context. The live stream was just a peek in of them recording. They weren't doing this stuff for the stream. Okay, well, I didn't know, Mr. Miles. I had no idea. Why were they recording like that? I don't understand. I mean, because it looked to me like they were interviewing somebody. I don't see how that fits into the movie or the production. But maybe I was only on there for the last 10 minutes. So maybe that's the problem. Nicole Malo says, crashed the new ship. Guess I didn't charge long enough, so I grabbed the goodies and bailed. The ship, oh well, it found the ground, I'm sure. Lol. Nicole, if you gave the ship if you named the grid of the ship, if you gave it a unique name, and you remember it, you should definitely name your ship's grids. This way, if they do get lost, you can let me, or when Anti-Trekker's back and feeling good, Anti-Trekker know the name of the ship, and we can delete it from the game so that your faction can get its PCU back, if you so want it. Or you could just let it roam around the galaxy, whatever you want. But preferably, you let us know, and then we can just remove it from existence. Darth Raven, Derek, only by Father Michaels. I don't know. I'm out of the loop. Yosef says, I'm complaining about the sound on every Midnight's Edge After Dark stream. I enjoy the content, but the production quality is pure crap. Like when Anti-Trekker's on there? Honestly, I haven't noticed an issue. Josh Street says, Darth Raven, have you ever tried bird and alpaca beagle pets? Derek is lolling at Darth. Actor says, Darth went back to one of his old names, apparently. Derek says, oh, one of many, Hector. He is a man of mystery. Yosef says, Prelude was fantastic, but is a dumpster fire ever since. I've lost my faith. That's what I'm afraid of, Yosef. T-Berg Sci-Fi fan says, good afternoon, Bird of Prey. Thanks for your space engineer fixes today. You are welcome. Uncle Remus says, Anti-Trekker is alive. Yes. Actor says, bird predictions. Oh dear. Darth Raven says, Josh Street, nope. The freshest beagles only. Nicole says, can't take forever to make something. It's suffering from lack of attention. John Araki says, don't assume Godspeed's gender identity. Well, it could have changed. That is true. Derek McManus says, agreed, Joseph. Joseph says Anti-Trigger is a robot. Robots are either on or off. Multi-Gunman says I never saw any of the Axonar stuff. I'm a little hesitant to watch any amateur production. No matter how good it is, it's still amateur. Multi-Gunman. Prelude to Axonar is an excellent prelude video. I wouldn't call it a film, but it's an excellent video. You should watch it. The only thing that's annoying is that we're never going to get what they actually wanted for it because of CBS's decisions, and there's blame enough to go around on all sides on that. I mostly blame CBS. Ms. Lodell says Axonar suffers from Alec Peters being a serious snake oil salesman. He could have raised money and made the movie before CBS knew what the hell was going on. He chose to be a loudmouth. Yeah, but most salesmen are snake oil salesmen. Derek McManus says Prelude is decent, to be honest. Yeah, it is. Prelude is decent. The only annoying part is that it was promising so much more than we will ever get. And that's what upsets me. We will not get the story that we wanted to have told, that they wanted to tell. We're going to get a much neutered, smaller story. Sherelle Morse's Bird of Prey just got a second notification. You defended AOC, and suddenly YouTube started sending out multiple notifications. We know what's going on. You are AOC's snoo buddy. Is that what you do? Defend AOC, and YouTube will send out extra notifications? Maybe they'll notify people I'm not even subscribed to me. You should check this guy out. John Araki says, I think Marvel needs to do an animated episode, either as a spoof of the animated series or in a continuity dimensional rift or wormhole accident. John Araki, I think that would be interesting, but I wouldn't want them to take away an episode of the regular season, personally. But I wouldn't mind it as like a special or something. Something in between the long year plus we're going to be waiting before it comes. Sure, throw in an animated episode if you can. Actor says, Bird of Prey, you should see the photo we took on our mighty alpaca temple this morning in Anti-Trekker's Space Engineers Discord. Scroll a little up. I did not have Discord open, but let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and open it. Somebody said, and Hector said I should be reading it because there's issues going on. No, there, yes, Hector, that's you. I'm glad you guys found the temple, and I assume are protecting it. Problem with server version being 001 again. I actually had to scroll down. Wait, there's no Temple of the Mighty Alpaca, the Moon, and oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Who's the comedian here? Who's responsible? Who's responsible for this? I like it. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I think that'll be my Halloween costume. I'll just put that picture up. I'm Indiana Joe. Derek McManus' Prelude is worth it. Skeptical, but it was decent. Hector says, yep, but it was years ago. Yeah, Prelude. Long time ago. Dan23 says, hi, welcome Dan. Derek says, Bird of Prey 5s. Greeting from Swatagra, Northern Ireland. Welcome, Derek. Thank you, Derek. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, I'm going to see it. Very cool. Multi-Gunman says, Derek, where can I watch it? Is it on YouTube? Yes, it's on YouTube. Darth says, Derek, you have to stroke off. You have a stroke off ROFL. What the F is that? Thomas says, I see the PCU limit went up. Yes, Thomas, the PCU limit was raised to the 200,000. Let me put the camera back on. Was raised to the 200,000 anti-tracker originally intended. So we have Turkestan, Karoga, and the alpacas. So that's 600,000 PCU. There's whatever PCU was used to build the restaurant. I don't think it's that much. Maybe it's, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. So the service should max out at around 650,000 PCU, because that'll be it. Now, that should be enough room for our factions to grow and do the things it needs to do, and also keep it well below the 1 million or even 2 million PCU that we had done on the earlier servers that caused it to get way, way bogged down. Anti-Tracker wanted 200,000 from the beginning, but since neither he nor I realized how it worked, we didn't know. We did our best to fill in the numbers, hoping that the most logical way it would work, it worked. But no, it actually... I had set it to 800,000 as the max faction for the world, because I figured, okay, well, we're 4-player factions, so there'd be 4-player because pirate factions have a separate PCU limit. So I said, okay, 4-player factions divided by 8, that 800,000 is 200,000 each. But no, they actually divide it by the max number of factions you have set, which was set to 20, even though we were only having 4. So it was 20 divided by 800,000, and hence why we all had 40,000 PCU limit each. So I set the new max factions to 10, which is all it should have been, because it's 4... the 4 of us, the alpacas, the Turkestans, the Karogans, and the admin faction, the pirates faction, that's 5, and then 5 more NPC factions for the economy. So that makes a total of 10 factions. So then 10 divided by 2 million is 200,000 each. Now, we're never going to get close to the 2 million, because the economy faction people only use a minuscule number of PCU, and the administrative faction only uses a relatively small number of PCU. So it's going to be the 600,000 is going to be the amount between the 3 factions actually playing the game. And it's not that there's a race, once a faction reaches 200,000, that's all you get. So you have to delete something if you want to, or grind something down if you want more faction points, PCU points. Multi-Gunman says, I read that. Actor says, I think it is. Yes, it is on YouTube. Derek says, I saw it on YouTube. I think it's still there. John Araki says, Swartarg sounds like a made-up place. Multi-Gunman says, Derek, I'll find it on YouTube tonight. Commander Shutter says, we can't let the fear of something bad potentially happen stop us from living. My Kember 45 will protect me just in case. Commander Shutter, hopefully you live in a state that allows such things. If you're living in a state like New York, there's a good chance you'll have to go through a metal detector before you will be let into the theater. So, unless not going to help you. You'll probably be arrested if you try to bring it in. Actor says, with 500 meters per second mod, no ship can survive from being dropped from high. Well, why would you drop a ship from high? Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, new name for your ships says the USS Kaboom and the USS Death Wish. And Actor, FYI, though, for the mod also included a way to increase the parachute elevation for both drop pods, which are turned off, and drop ships, where that drop in resources. So none of those are crashing to the ground anymore. The parachute opens much higher, and they come in for a very soft landing. Derek says, Google it, John. Strawaway County, Londonderry, Northern Ireland. It's a dump, though, and I don't live there, but poor Joe will have trouble pronouncing it. Yes, I did. Dan23 obviously wanted to keep some things secret. I hope everything's okay. DC is doing, Dan23 says DC is doing a film called Birds of Prey. Yes, Dan, I saw the trailer. I was horrified and disgusted that my name, Bird of Prey 5, might somehow get associated with that dumpster fire of a movie that I'm considering suing. If I could just find a lawyer who would work for free, we would launch a lawsuit. Defamation. Nicole says it crashed on the planet. Sure, as I was in the atmosphere, gravity is a mean mistress. So if it did, it was wrecked and will clean up by trash removal. Except, Nicole, trash removal is turned off, I believe. So. Ozzy NF says, Bird of Prey, how are things? Nerdville, hail Karoga. Things are pretty good, Ozzy. We're looking forward to Anti-Trekker's triumphant return as a cyborg tonight. Derek actually lives in Limavady. Limavady? Probably hard to say for some folks as well. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, we should launch a GoFundMe for Anti-Trekker. For what? I mean, we could, but for what purpose? What is the goal? Darth Raven says, Dan23, they are making dumpster fire. Yes, they are. They are making a dumpster fire Birds of Prey, and I'm glad we called it the same thing. Joseph Patrick says, no, Joe, Robot Shlomo is using probably a microphone built in out of a can. Anti-Trekker and Mecha usually have really good audio on Mead. The other guys know. Okay, yeah, well, I don't know. I only listen to Midnight's Edge After Dark when Anti-Trekker's on. I'm going to be honest. I used to listen to them years ago. But then when everybody else started blowing up, Midnight's Edge After Dark honestly took a backseat to just about everyone else. It was only when Anti-Trekker got on it, that I start listening to it again. And I only listen when he is on it. I like the guys, I like the people on it, but if they're up against Doomcock and Nerdrotic like they usually are on Friday nights and Tuesday nights and other, it's no contest. Or me, in which case, obviously, I'm going to listen to me. Actor says, I'm trying to picture how Cassidy from Preacher would pronounce it. Dan23 says, Darth Raven, don't know. Actor says, is an ambulance parked in your house, Joe? What's that blinking blue light coming from? I don't know, but I guess it's gone. There wasn't an ambulance that I know about, and I don't see a blinking blue light now. Do you still see a blinking blue light, Joseph? I'm checking. T-Berg says a GoFundMe for Acorn Turd Lift for stairs. I think by the time they would get it installed, Anti-Trekker, in fact, Anti-Trekker should be using the stairs today, so I don't think he needs one. You put the stair lift in, usually when people get to that age where they have trouble with the stairs. Anti-Trekker is... Yeah, like Mama Prey's age. Anti-Trekker is, if anything, his knee should be better than it ever was. So, he doesn't need a stair lift. Hopefully. I mean, everything went well. He doesn't need a stair lift. If he needs a stair lift, things went bad. Things did not go well. And there'll be hell to pay. We've got 30 people watching. Very, very cool. Joseph says it's the police. It could have been. Thomas is yelling, Mama Pray is not old. Nicole says might be the screen. I don't. Where Mama Pray is looking to. Is it over here? Is it this reflection? Because this is reflecting. Yeah, it could have been something reflecting off of the screen, I suppose. But usually I would see, hey, Sassy.
Yeah.
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 Life with Matthew says hello, Bird of Prey and all. Welcome, Life with Matthew. Glad to see you. Dan23 says the actors who were in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek film said they were taking too long to make it, and they felt they were getting older than their characters were supposed to be for a 5-year mission. I wouldn't be surprised. Although, was the JJ films ever a 5-year mission? I don't think I ever heard the term 5-year mission in any JJ film. But they were in a different timeline. So, Dan23 says Joe or Jack Black. Derek, again, retracted. Dan23 says Bird of Prey, do you like Jack Black and Jumanji? No. There are things. There are a couple things I'm okay with Black, but Jumanji, no. It's never a Jumanji person. Just seemed a bit ridiculous. Yeah. And now I've got to get back to. That's it. Was Jack Black in Jumanji? Because that seems like I don't remember him. I don't know if I've ever saw all of Jumanji. I remember Robin Williams. Schronmore says that's excellent, Bird of Prey. Joe and the Hungry Alpaca. Derek says I like Indiana Joe image. Very cool. Yeah, whoever did that, Hector, if that was you, well done. Hector says we are still clearing the mess the boulder made across the hallway. We repurposed the holy idol as a sticker. The holy alpaca idol as a sticker. Schronmore says as Indiana Jones was named after the dog, wouldn't it be Sassy Paca Joe and the Temple of the Alpacas? Nicole, swear if the Greys don't knock off the drilling under the base, I'm gonna go Rambo on their narrow behinds. Headache, yes, it's crazy, but makes it fun. The Greys? What? Do you have alien Greys drilling under your base? This says, what's the name of Poop O Prey? Who's Anti? If you mean Anti-Trekker's dog, it's Anti. Original name, Allie. Dan23 says the storyline for new Picard show is that the retired admiral living at his family's vineyard until 7 and 9 comes and he goes back into service. Very possible. You know what? This is actually, I had a dream last night. It was a really freaked out dream. It was one of the dreams that was like more vivid than usual. I was in like this back town, general store / restaurant type place. I don't remember if it was Mississippi or Michigan, but wherever it was out in the middle of nowhere place. They're just on a county road or something. There wasn't shit in any direction. But this place had Wi-Fi. And I was so happy to find a place with Wi-Fi. I was walking, like I often am in my dreams. So it's not like I was there in the hospital bed. Just to be clear. So I was walking. I was I knew, in fact, I think it was today in the dream, because I knew New York Comic Con was going on, so I was really anxious to see what was being released at New York Comic Con from the Discovery people. And I saw it, and my heart sunk, and I was getting enraged in the dream at Discovery because they announced in my dream, and they might announce it in real life, that they were recasting an actor to play William Shatner, and that Captain Kirk was going to be in Star Trek Discovery Season 3. And I was like, no! No! Now, they had an actor, God, I don't remember his name. I don't even know if he's a real actor or just a figment of my imagination. The guy didn't look terrible. I mean, he didn't look, he was still a white guy about Shatner's size and height. He wasn't, young Shatner's size and height, not current. But he wasn't terrible, but when he started talking, he had a French accent, and he sounded like such a frickin' sissy boy. I'm sorry, Luke, if you're here. Not all French people are sissy boys. Believe me, I know. But this particular guy, he was a sissy boy, as they say in French, a sissy boy. I don't know. But he just sounded like such a sissy person. I guess, boy. Sissy person. I was like, no, this guy cannot play William Shatner. Cannot play Captain Kirk. And I was angry. I was so angry. I was like, I'm going to go on live right from here and start cursing up about this. And I was like, what's your Wi-Fi password or something? Oh, I needed a different Wi-Fi to get on live because they didn't have enough bandwidth. They didn't have enough bandwidth because I could download, but I didn't have enough bandwidth to upload to YouTube. So I was trying to get the people, I was trying to explain to them, no, I'm a YouTube person. I need to go on. I have people who follow me on YouTube. And they weren't buying it. I was trying, like, please, you don't understand that weird cuss. Like, don't you understand Star Trek? Don't you love William Shatner? And I'm like, yep. They couldn't be bothered. I was really pissed. And I just remember being, and I was like, God damn it, why am I even in? I forget if it was Michigan or Mississippi. It was a state with an M. A rural state with an M. It wasn't Maryland. Yeah, and I was like, why am I in this goddamn state anyway? Because it's a dream. You don't realize why you're someplace in your dreams, usually. I was getting even more mad when I couldn't remember why I was there to begin with. And then I was more mad. So if Star Trek announces that they're casting for or they've already got somebody to play William Shatner, which I honestly think they do in the short track. I do believe they have Shatner, not Shatner. They have Captain Kirk appearing in a short track this season. If they announce that at this New York Comic Con, then it was a successful prediction of the future. And if he turns out to be a French sissy boy actor, even more scary. Yosef says, got a bottle of walnut liquor. My first. It's weirdly bittersweet. Walnut liquor. That's weird. But hope you like it. Carlos says, hello, hope you are well. Tried getting on the server this morning, but needed updating. Should be able to get on tomorrow. Very cool, Carlo. And just so you know, Carlo, if you're still here, we did update the PCUs. We're at only 40,000. It was supposed to be at 200,000. So I updated it, and we should have no problem with the PCU limits for the next few days, I guess. Wesley says, Bird of Prey. Hello, nerds and birds. How is everyone? I'm good, Wes. I hope everyone else is. Were you going to say something, Mom?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I have maple.
You have what?
Maple.
Oh, Mamo Prey has maple liqueur. I don't know. I might try the walnut before maple. Dan23 says, I don't always like video games. but we can only use ships by having a certain amount of credits. I don't always like video games where you can only use ships by having a certain amount of credits. Is that a Star Trek Online thing? Because if it is, that's why I don't play. In Space Engineers, you don't need any credits, though. You can just build a ship, and you're all good to go. Speaking of games, if those who are Flight Simulator fans, recently, I guess some big YouTubers got to see, and they had it in their videos, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 coming out next year. Freaking amazing. The graphics look incredible. Almost better than real life graphics. I used to play Microsoft Flight Simulator back in the day, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 years and years and years ago. It doesn't run anymore, but in fact, I purchased it today. There's a special going on in Microsoft Flight Simulator Steam Edition, plus an add-on pack, which brings us a different plane and some other stuff, for less than the price of the game is regularly, which is $24. I'm gonna start doing some Flight Simulator again. Just to, even Flight Simulator 10 looks pretty good, don't get me wrong. Flight Simulator 2020, it brings in live as you're playing, if you have an internet connection, satellite imagery from Bing Maps. So basically, you get live satellite video feeds of any area you're flying over. But in addition to that, it uses AI learning to turn the 2D image into 3D images and turn buildings into physical 3D objects. Really, really cool. And if you don't have an always-on internet connection, it still just generates terrain for the place you're at. So it's really cool, and unfortunately you can't get it yet. It's still in an alpha version, but keep an eye on it if you're a Flight Simulator fan. 2020. John Araki, since Bird of Prey has so many Irish fans, his Halloween costume should be a leprechaun. Oh, a leprechaun. Actor says, hasn't Anti-Tracker already reserved that costume? I think you're right. Hobbit, leprechaun, same thing. Except less gold for hobbits. Excuse me. Mike Richards says, Wesley, hi. I don't know, they're saying hello, back and forth. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello in Qapla. Hello in Qapla, not Ryan Johnson. T-Berg Sci-Fi fan says, the GoFundMe is for a turd lift for stairs. Yes. I don't think, luckily, I don't think Anti-Tracker will need that anytime soon. Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey, we should go lunch around. We should lunch a go-round. Well, we should launch a GoFundMe for me. I will use it to move to the next door to Anti-Tracker and mow his yard. Well, it sounds like Anti-Tracker should pay you to do that, Wes, but yes, good luck with that. Maybe Thomas could just mow his yard. He already lives in the attic. John Araki says the anti-GoFundMe is going to be for his defecation lawsuit against the dictator of Kuroga. You mean defamation lawsuit? Or is that what Kurdistan calls defamation, defecation? Actor says 30 watching, only 19 likes. We need to double that number. Thank you, Actor. John Araki. Thomas Potts, Mama Praise, not old. Nicole Malo, might be, did I read these all already? Might be the screen. Yeah. Nicole says, I'm old, 52, and I feel every year today. Well, Mom O'Prey was 15 when you were born, Nicole. T-Berg says, smash that like. Thank you, T-Berg. Mike Richards says, green thumbs up count twice. I don't think that's how it works. Dan23 says, apparently the longest place name in the U.S. is something that starts with a C. Charoga moga mucha moga mugga mugga humba boga guga moga mug. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. Wesley says, vertebrae. My mom had both of her knees replaced. It takes a month or two to recover, but then it's better. Yes, very cool. It'll take time, but he will be good. Actor says, Dan23, I think the injectors on your diesel are clogged, sir. What did we... Thomas is Into Darkness. They got a 5-year mission. Okay, I missed that then. Commander Shutter says, I live in Eastern Washington, so no detectors. I wouldn't bring it anyway. Yeah, no, probably not. Thomas Potts says, and we in the middle of it, during Beyond. Oh, they're in the middle of the 5-year mission during Beyond. Wesley says, Bird of Prey. JJ Films said 5-year mission in 2 of the movies, Into Darkness and Beyond. Well, that just shows you how much I remember them. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, beginning of Beyond, says it. So many days of our 5-year mission. Okay, you got me. Dan23 is lolling. Actor says, oh, and there's the Jumanji 2. There's a Jumanji 2. Well, I have no interest in Jumanji 2. Ozzy Senf says, Bird of Prey. I think they're talking about the new Jumanji. Well, that would make sense. Rock Solid, remember to set chat to live chat. Smash that like button. Tickle the subscribe button. Share via socials. Donate if you can. Join the Subscribe Star. Get well soon, King of the Alpacas, Anti-Tricker. No, Anti-Tricker is not King of the Alpacas. He's King of the Turds. Not Ryan Johnson, Mick Packas. Oh, God. Dan23 says, yeah, there's a new Jumanji film. Not Ryan Johnson says Alpaca King, Alpaca Bell, International House of Alpacas. And then he says, Bird has a dream. Actor says, grab the popcorn and the LSD. Because I was going to talk about my dream. Dan23, the new Picard information comes from a picture they posted and has the information on it. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's a perfectly plausible way of starting the show. Although it seems to be at odds with the woman who came to him for help. Ms. Londell says, could it be that 7 of 9 has a kid and Jean-Luc is the baby daddy? Possible. Ms. Londell says, why don't I hear Sassy in the background? Did Anti kidnap her? Should I put together a crack team of poodle commandos to rescue her? No, Sassy's looking out the window. That's what Sassy's up to. Actor says, sounds plausible, but if he's a man, no. Actor says, one of the LGBTQXZX community, that is plausible. Multi-evidence is Actor, also known as the Alphabet people. No, Miami's not a state. Dan23 says, Discovery Season 3 may introduce a new captain. Well, that would be very weird since... Well, I mean, they could make Michael captain or they could make Saru captain. But a completely new character as a captain would be very difficult to imagine, as who would be qualified to be captain 850 years in the future. That doesn't make any sense. Darth Ravens, but you know what? Because it doesn't make any sense is probably exactly why Discovery would do it. Darth Ravens is Bird of Prey. I'm in a Comic-Con group, gone super woke, 500 likes ages ago, for recasting Shatner as a black lesbian woman. Mississippi, yes, Mississippi was one of the places. Actors of Discovery Season 3 may introduce a new ship. I also think that's ridiculous. Dan 23 says Bird of Prey. Shatner wanted to be in Tarantino's Star Trek film. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, he wanted to be in a lot of things. He should have, the J.J. Abrams films too. But they had no room for him. Thundercat. So Kirk is being a transgender woman of color who is also asexual and against any form of violence. Showmore Bird of Prey pulls out his badge and tells them no. He screams at them. Sounds more dramatic. YouTuber Bird, YouTube emergency, hand over the bandwidth now. I must commandeer your bandwidth. This is a YouTube emergency. I should have remembered that. I will remember that in my next stream. You are ordered to give me your bandwidth. We're at Mike Richards says Birdo Dream 5. Darth Raven says Bird of Prey in Star Trek Online. When you hit a certain rank, every 10 levels you get to choose which ship you want. Tactical Engineering Science. Okay. Wesley says on Flight Simulator 2020, can I fly around New York City? Don't worry, I won't fly better than you. Yes, you could fly anywhere you want, Wesley. Anywhere on the world, on the globe. Carlos says that's fantastic. I'll do some mining. You're more than welcome to use that ship if you want. If you got a space miner on top, it's quite good for asteroid mining. Your new miner looks very capable. It is. In fact, I brought back some more platinum today. I found 2 more deep space platinum asteroids. Now, they're quite far away. I also found a lot of gold in space. Now, there's plenty of gold on the planet, but this was actually very easy to get to gold in space. So I will put I forgot to put that stuff up on the LCD screen, but I will. Darth Raven says Bird of Prey. They released the Medieval Engineer. Might be fun for you to try. They had Medieval Engineer even when we started with Space Engineers. And from what I hear, Medieval Engineers is a more stable game than Space Engineers. And I would have preferred Medieval Engineers, probably, though I've not seen it. But Anti-Trekker really, really wants Space Engineers, because, space and sci-fi. So I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But at this point, I'm if I don't want to move to Medieval Engineers and split the game. Dan23 says that is what some people or sites predict for Discovery Season 3. Control was the Borg after all. The Federation is gone. Captain Burnham, Voyager's doctor comes aboard. Q shows up and Pike is back. John Araki says AOC Simulator 2020. Nicole says thinking about the ship I lost had no bacon or AT&T so I could be a mother bear. Nicole, some of the stuff you post, I have no idea what you're saying. Thinking about the ship I lost, it had no bacon. Or at T. So find it could be a mother bear. So finding it could be hard. It had no antenna. It had no antenna. Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if your ship has an antenna or not. I'll be honest. I don't even build antennas on my ships anymore. Only lets the enemy know where I am. However, if when you're in the cockpit or the control chair or whatever, if you hit the K key, you get the whole thing, production, factions, GPS. If you hit the info square button, whatever, in the info section, you can rename the grid. Now, the grid name by default is either small grid, like 542134, or large grid 3251x64. Something like that. You just rename the grid to whatever you want. Like I renamed it to SOB Tupac, SOB Crawford, and stuff like that. And then when you save the blueprint, if you save the blueprint of that ship, you don't have to rename it. It will take the name of the grid. So you just save it into your blueprints and it will be SOB Crawford or SOB Tupac or whatever you saved it to. Plus, in the game, if an administrator needs to look for it, we can just find it by the grid name. So it makes life much, much easier for everybody. So you should get into the habit of naming your grids. Also, whether it's a base or a ship, please give your grids better names than just the generic names. It'll make life easier for everybody, and you don't need an antenna. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, AOC fan, save the planet, eat the baby. She thinks eating her own babies will save the planet. I saw it, Wes. I watched it, and I'm pretty certain that was a bad troll or a fake. I mean, it happened. I know it happened, but I don't think that woman actually believed it. John DeMarco says, hello all. Carlos says, Bird of Prey, I must admit, I like Discovery. However, I see the different universe with Enterprise. First Contact changed the timeline so they can move away from my love from TOS and DS9. Carlo, I can understand Enterprise is in a different universe, right? The timeline changed, so Enterprise. There is no timeline change that could possibly explain Discovery. Discovery sucks for so many more reasons that it's simply not agreeing with the timeline. The timeline is a major thing, don't get me wrong. The timeline doesn't work. However, there is so much more beyond the timeline that also doesn't work for Discovery that you cannot explain it away by simply being a change in the timeline because of First Contact. No way, no how. Doesn't work like that. That's not how time works, right? The Vulcans would not have evolved super space Skype telepathy because the Borg went to Earth 400 years ago or whatever it was, 250 years ago, 300 years ago. Wouldn't have changed that, right? That wouldn't have changed Vulcan. Wouldn't have changed how Vulcans evolved. It wouldn't have changed the fact that there are now space whales are an endangered species. It's not something you just happen to find a one in a cajillion discovery of a life form that lives among the stars for the first time in the next generation. But that space whales are a species that are a known species and an endangered species. It wouldn't explain so much. There are just too many problems. The entire Spore network is laughable, but, the fact that it isn't consistent with its own canon. Is Ash Tyler a Klingon made to look like a human, or a human who had a Klingon mind put into him? And if he was a human who had the Klingon mind put into him, why does his body have crushed bones? And why does the doctor say he was made to look human? But if he was Klingon, why did they need an Ash Tyler to begin with? Doesn't make any sense. The DNA. It's definitely got to be your mother's DNA. It can't be anybody other's DNA but your mother's. Mothers and daughters' DNA, mitochondrial DNA, mostly identical. No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. Oh, it turned out to be your DNA after all. Crazy. Oh, Michael's DNA. It was Michael's DNA. Doesn't make any sense. And are going through the Spore network. Is that killing the people in the Spore network? Because they said it was. But then apparently it's not. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, the new Jumanji with Rock is actually really good, and I love the original with Robin Alpaca. Well, I appreciate it, Rock Solid, but I still don't think I'm going to see Jumanji. Darth Raven says, Carlo, the entire freedom hates you now. The entire fandom hates you now. I don't hate Carlo. I can't. Discovery is... Listen, I know there's people out there who like Discovery. It's fine. Carlos' Bird of Prey, Enterprise taught me to accept the good in new Star Trek with a changed timeline. Otherwise, I'll cry at broken canon. CBS will never give us what we want. But fan films have Star Trek continues. Enterprise didn't bother me nearly as much. Yes, there are problems with the Enterprise timeline. Yes, much of it could be explained by the fact that the timeline changed, and that is even addressed as canon in Star Trek Enterprise, because they actually have Borg who came from First Contact. The Borg from First Contact, however they got frozen in the Antarctic, or Arctic, whichever they found them in, was the Antarctic. They're in Enterprise. So yes, you can see the timeline has changed somehow, some way. So you could use that to explain, why the Romulan War don't line up, and why, cloaking devices don't line up, and the fact that there was a whole temporal war going on. So it's kind of its own timeline to begin with or without the Borg. It could go, I can understand. I can understand that Enterprise is different. Enterprise doesn't bother me. Enterprise is a bajillion times more true to Star Trek than Star Trek Discovery is to Star Trek. And that's just simple math. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, since she has Borg in her, what if she's Seven's daughter with Chakotay, and his link to the Sky People, and Seven being an adjunct makes her special? I highly, highly doubt it's Seven's daughter with Chakotay. Why wouldn't Seven be protecting her? Seven is more than capable. Wesley Crutchers with Bird of Prey. I used to like to fly large jets around New York City in the old flight sim. Don't worry, I'm a good pilot. I used to fly all types of things. And don't get me wrong, I would fly the 747s and stuff too. But in all honesty, flying the Cessnas was just more fun. You got to see more of a view. You could go slower. They were a bit more forgiving, and you could. And the sport planes, those were even better. But I would download all types of planes. The Space Shuttle, F-18s. I like Combat Flight Simulator. That was a good game for a long time. But those were mostly World War II planes, I think. Or World War I and II planes. Carlos says to Darth Raven, lol, it's all we have and all we'll get. CBS hates us. John Araki says, Guinan is going to introduce Picard, his son, in episode 3 of Picard. Guinan is going to introduce Picard, his son, in episode 3 of Picard. Not Ryan Douglas's Bird should have been at Comic-Con. You would have enjoyed the cosplayers. I don't know that I would have, and unfortunately it's a little far for me to get to, and difficult logistics-wise. Mr. Lundell says, Bird of Prey, who'd be qualified to be captain 800 years into the future? I can't think of I don't think it will be a straight Christian white guy. Well, Mr. Lundell, there are no straight Christian white guys on Discovery, so you're absolutely right, it won't be. And to be honest, nothing to do with race or religion, just being the canon we know so far, the only two people qualified to be captain of Discovery would be Saru and Michael Burnham. I don't know who it'll be. I suspect it might start out as Saru and end as Michael Burnham, but I'm not sure. I could see Saru getting a hero's death and Michael Burnham taking over at the end of the season. that was if it was me, given the train wreck we already have, and it was my job to try and make it better. But do I honestly think they would do that? No, I don't. That would just be what I would do. Rock Solid says, does Bird of Prey need a flight simulator or a crash simulator? I mean, how often does he fly compared to how often he crashes? He flies worse than African swallow. It hurts, Rock Solid. Actor says, John Iraqi, does the kid engage in cat claw staring contest with Q's too? Carlos' Bird of Prey jump drive is useful with GPS. Got to go to work. Have a wonderful night, day, whatever it is where you are. Thank you, Carlo. You too. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird, when are you going to do your 24-hour alpaca stream? I have no plans for a 24-hour anything stream. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I have medieval engineers. It's all right, but not as fun. Okay. Nicole says, just call me Launchpad McQuack. Sure. Launchpad. Headache, says Nicole. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, hit the khaki, leave, okay, alone you... Bird of Prey, hit the khaki, leave, khaki, alone you cacist. Thomas Potts says, Operation King Charles is almost ready. Oh my god. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, why don't you whip Mamo Prey up a Space Engineers account? Have her in as a Grand Karogan, mother of Karoga, and official enemy of the Beagle Bites. Because, Darth Raven, there are no Beagle Bites in Space Engineers, so she doesn't need to be in there. And I don't think it's a game for her. She prefers Candy Crush Jelly Saga. Mike Richards is Space Gold more valuable? It should be. Nicole says, got to find it first. Name the base. Rock Solid says, Discovery is the Wii U of the Star Trek universe. So much potential and goodwill pissed away. Vince Lundell says, Discovery was never meant to work in the timeline we're accustomed to with Trek. It was supposed to be something different, hip, and hot from the very beginning. And they should have just said it was a different timeline, a whole different universe, a reimagining of Star Trek, and while it would still suck as a show, it would take away 50% of the criticisms. Agner says, if Bird starts explaining each one of Disco's timeline discrepancies, we'll have a long stream. Yes. Darth Vader says, Bird of Prey, your DNA is a mix between a meatball and a hard-boiled egg. Oh, god damn it. Thomas Potts, 26 watching, with 23 likes. Thank you, everybody who's liked the stream. Sean Moore's Bird of Prey, I actually think Star Trek Picard will end with Q laughing when Jean-Luc discovers that Q caused STD as a prank and goes into a homicidal rage. And we should be so lucky. Jason Link says, Alpaca, dear leader. Welcome, Jason Link. Rock Solid says, it was World War II planes, it would be biplanes. If it was World War I planes, it would be biplanes. World War II would be fixed-wing warbirds. I used to work for an RC manufacturer, and we sold a poop ton of warbirds. I do believe there were biplanes and the World War II warbirds, as you call them, both in the game. I think you started with a biplane and worked your way up to the World War II type planes. Shronmore says, Hail Karoga, Shronmore. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, how much is Flight Sim 2020? They did not announce pricing. I would suspect that it would be a subscription model, because unlike with previous Flight Sims where they could release increased, geography packs, you're getting 100% of the world geography from the very start, and it will be continuously improving. My guess is that they would do a monthly subscription rather than a set flat price, but I don't know. They didn't announce either the model or the price. Dan23 says some articles say Whoopi Goldberg is interested in returning to Star Trek Picard show. I wouldn't be surprised, and to be honest, Guinan could certainly make a guest appearance. I mean, her and Picard were good friends. It would make sense. Also, Beverly should be in there some point. We should at least know what happened to Beverly. Hell, they got married in one timeline, at least. And at the end of Nemesis, they were clearly involved physically. You can tell that very clearly. So, Beverly, if not in it, then we should know what happened to her. Whether they got divorced, she died, whatever. We need to find out. Shrumwar says if we can't hit the bullseye, the rest of the dominoes will fall like a house of cards. If we can hit the bullseye, the rest of the dominoes will fall like a house of cards. Checkmate. Great, great quote from Futurama. Darth Raven says, Bird of Prey, I will say it again. Lol in November. Shave your beard, and hair off. Let them grow back. When I get on, eventually I will have a warship called Beagle Bites or the USA German Chancellor, 1936 to 1945. You will not have a ship called the German Chancellor, unless it's actually called German Chancellor on the Anti-Trekker server. The Beagle Bits, if that's what you want, that'll be fine. Thomas is wrong, Thomas. Shrumwar says, remember the Yellow Cake Uranium Orphans of Karoga, indeed. What is the Matrix? Says, hail all, hail, hail, what is the Matrix? Wesley says, Bird of Prey, well, still want to see you try it. Land a space shuttle on your street. I don't know if the space shuttle will be available in 2020 pack. I just got the, I don't even know if it's downloaded yet. Flight Simulator 10, but if it does and if it's working, the problem is I just have a simple game pad. I don't have like an actual flight stick joystick nearby. But if I find something that works well, I will try to stream it this weekend. Because I'll have to remember if I remember how to play. Miss Londell says Guinan and Picard were playing Hide the Sausage. It wouldn't be surprised if he was doing some sneaky freaky with Dr. Beverly. No, okay. I looked at Nemesis because I did a Picard. When I did the Picard show video, I watched Nemesis again. And I had forgotten a lot of Nemesis because I think I'd only seen the movie once and then once since I saw it the first time. So now I saw it more recently. Picard and Beverly are 100% without a doubt physically involved in Nemesis. Okay? They clearly were going in that direction since TNG ended. And by the time of Nemesis, they're physically involved. So, we have to find out what happens to that relationship. Now, was Picard and Guinan physically involved? If they were, it was, back when Guinan first came on the Enterprise. I doubt it, to be honest. And maybe in the future, but I doubt they would be doing anything at the time he was with Beverly. John Araki says Bird needs a Hillary 2016 sticker for his laptop. No, a Hillary 2020 sticker. Dan23 says, where was the Star Trek book? The autobiography of Jean-Luc Picard and its pictures of his wedding invitations and wedding to Beverly. Oh, there was a Star Trek book. Well, it's not canon. Mike Richards is sneaky freaky. What is the Matrix? Oh my, Mr. Sulu voice. Oh my. Wesley Bird of Prey, are you saying you need a new flight stick? I think I have one somewhere.
What
But
does it look like?
looks like a joystick.
What's the background?
It's,
Like, big.
I can't say it. It's big and black. And
What's the name of the company?
it might say Logitech on it. I don't know. It's got buttons on top and like a thing to move it back and forth. I think I have a flight stick somewhere, but you see now Mom Pray's gonna go on this quest to find it, and okay, so let me see. Oh my God, I still can't believe somebody did this. Babies. So people are saying that it was a conspiracy group planted a fake climate activist. Oh, well, this is BuzzFeed. The president and the far right slammed AOC over a bizarre town hall speaker who suggested eating babies to solve the climate crisis. But pro-Trump LaRouche PAC believes climate change is a hoax. They said they planted the troll. See, I knew her shirt said something, but I couldn't see what it was. Save the planet, eat babies. President Donald Trump, his son Don Jr., and far-right conservatives They attacked her after a speaker at her town hall meeting Thursday night went on a bizarre rant about how eating babies can be the only solution to the climate crisis. But it turns out the stunt was staged by what is now a far-right pro-Trump conspiracy group that compares climate change activism to genocide.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it. It's not on camera right now. Trump called AOC a whack job on Twitter after his allies widely shared the video of the unidentified woman saying AOC's Green New Deal was not enough to solve the climate crisis. Like I said, if it was a troll, it was a poor troll, and Mama Pray found it. So, I think, yeah, it's got the throttle down here, USB, so once I get it installed, I will have some decent controllers. Now, these would have been good if it was Combat Flight Simulator, but we'll be good. We'll be good. Oh, right, that's right, and you can do the whatever those things are called. You rotate this left and right. Very cool, and it was Logitech. I was correct. I can leave it there for now. Not going to be much longer. So let's go over to Twitter. Oh, you know what? We've got to go to nation states because it's been like weeks since I've logged into nation states. What the hell is this? Okay. I thought it was something different. Let's see if there's any telegrams. It's been a long time since we've been in nation states. Nothing of value. Issues. Are you there, guarded particle? It's me, Perdo Prey 5, the unforgettable. After a scientific experiment involving a cat, a steel chamber, a vial of radioactive waste went disastrously wrong and led to the death of the cat to boot. People have begun to question whether the nation's pursuit of knowledge has caused it to lose touch with its humanity. It's time we get a grip on ourselves, demands Dr. Dick Schrodinger, clearing away flask of hydrocyanic acid. It's bad enough that the cat was lost, but even worse, The entire cast wing of the Maxwood University building has been irradiated. That'll set the experimental physics department back for decades, and for what? To disprove an obscure theory of quantum mechanics. It's high time we had a central authority to research and to ensure its integrity. And well, since my department is out of action, I humbly volunteer. Screw you, Dick Schrodinger. Number 2. It's time we got a grip on our goals, insists Dr. Kayla Milgram, affixing a set of electrodes to your secretary before handing you a large red button. If we don't ask ourselves the fundamental question, then what do we amount to but apes scratching around in the dirt with sticks? We need more freedoms and funding, of course, to have hope of advancing our knowledge. Now press the button, please. 3. If we get a grip on our souls, begins noted astronomer Chip Newton while winding up his pocket watch. I agree with the good Dr. Schrodinger that we need to have a central authority, not a man's man one, but a rather divine. The noble study of science needs to be brought back to its holy roots. Oh, I don't even have this up, do I? Huh. There we go. Nation states. Yeah. Needs to be brought back to its holy roots. Give the church full domain of scientific pursuits. No, I don't think so. And number 4, it's time we realize that there is nothing to grip. Stoically states, unwashed, ascetic outside your window. Scientific pursuits are just man's ego trying to overcome the oneness of nature. Only when we succumb to Mother Nature and stop fighting her will we attain inner peace. An apple falls on her head from the tree. She continues unfazed. No more science, no more inquiries, no more questions, no more struggles. Wow, every one of these options suck. So we're just going to continue on as is, dismissing the issue. Timely intervention, double down on double time, outed teacher ousted. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, nope. A religious high school in Kronos caused quite a stir after firing a teacher because of his homosexual orientation. Number 1 says, I can't see they did anything wrong, said Xantos Coleman, proud parent and father of Holier Than Thou prayer group. Homosexuality is a potsy on everything, and we stand for and believe, and we don't want my children exposed to it. Teachers are role models for their students, for heaven's sake. Oh God, no they're not. Don't be like your teacher. I say all sodomites should be banned from teaching in all schools in Karoga, lest the contagion spread. Okay. Number 2, prohibiting people from doing their job just because they love life is utterly ridiculous. Shouts a mad as hell civil rights activist. Don't we live in a modern society? Giving these fundamentalist idiots what they want is a huge violation of human rights. All people should be able to do their jobs, whatever their sexuality. And what's number 3? This is yet another example of what harm religion does to our society, says alphabet activist Chris Ketting. Waving rainbow flag, homosexuality shouldn't be a taboo subject anymore. Children ought to be brought up knowing that sexual diversity is just something that exists in society, and it's completely normal. To help society move forward, need to get rid of religious schooling and teach people they should love whomever they want. Well, you know what, actually, I think 2 is right. You shouldn't be firing somebody just because they're gay. That's not a reason to fire anybody. Not even in Karoga. Okay, let's see. Maybe that helped did that help our civil rights at all? No. Didn't change our civil rights, bastards. What's double time? I'm curious. Turning up one bright Monday morning, you're met with a mob of angry janitors. Double time. I got it. Delivery drivers, security guards, and cleaners on strike after legislation increased weekend pay was defeated for the 16th time. Given all available office spaces full of uncollected rubbish and smells faintly of Friday's lunch, a meeting on the issue has been held at a local busy cafe. Number 1, what do you think we're striking for? Asked Department of Office intern and student Bob Hawkins, still half asleep from working weekends at greengrocers. Fair wages for antisocial hours, that's what. Do you know how many of us have to sacrifice our free time, our social lives, and even our health for the same rate as someone doing a 9 to 5? Big business can afford to pay a bit more. So make them give us the night shift and weekend workers extra pay. No, not a Roga. Having forked out extra for weekend workers would sink us. Butts in the noisy cafe owner, Calvin Osborne, slinging a sweat-soaked dishcloth at his girlfriend so she can take over. Me and the old girl have to scrimp and save and pay for staff as it is. Tell you what, you cut back a bit on all those wage laws for our small businesses. Excuse me. And I might even be able to take the old nag out somewhere nice. And number 3, we never used to rush about like this when I was a young'un, in Jack's old-timer, Louis Vargas. Holding up a queue just to talk to you. Nowadays, no one seems to have enough time for a cuppa and a chat. Why don't we go back to the good old days when you only had to work on weekends and everything closed at 5? When you only had to work on weekends and everything closed at 5. That gives us all plenty of time to get to know each other properly and like back when I was a nipper. I think 2. I think we're going with 2. We're not increasing pay for weekend work. Takeaway food brought on the weekend now comes with 50% more sweat and tears. Then people will stop buying it, and problem solved. Lost the browser. There we go. One more. Timely intervention. Your cabinet are on tour of nearby Karoga Watch Factory, which has long been famous throughout all the United Federations. The poor state of the factory and its rapidly declining sales figures carelessly left on the manager's desk are all clear for all to see. Shuffling by your side, the manager sighs. Bird of Prey 5, the unforgettable. We've had some tough years here, but we don't know what to do to bring the good days back. Well, you should start making cell phones. Number 1, the issue here is competition from emerging technology. Prefers your ministers of science and technology, Dr. Jonas Osterman, shaking his head at the sight of a dusty leg. These watches are outdated compared to our latest iPair models. We need a nuclear option to adjust the balance. Atomic clocks are well known for their accuracy. So what if we started producing atomic watches? The watches may be slightly bulkier than we're used to, and our watchmakers will need some training and correct handling of cesium. But with a little government funding, that's where they lost me. But with a little government funding and innovation in compact atomic design, our watch market will explode. Figure of speech. Number 2, the solution is moving back in time, not forwards. Now that's just ridiculous. Number 3, atoms, joules, those watches would never survive a hard day's work, bemoaned your Minister of Labor, Bork Pharma. If a watch can't survive being hit by a hammer or cut by a sickle, then it's useless in the workplace. Focus on mass production of cheap, indestructible watches to equip the international proletariat with the tools they need to keep running on the same beat. It will make generous government subsidies. It will take generous government subsidies to allow the factory a larger... No government subsidies. Number 4. The hour is at hand. This is the time of Violet, shouts violist priest Gary Mansbridge through an open window. The time spent watching these evil little machinists would be better spent praising Almighty Violet. We need to change Violet. We must rid ourselves of the factory of evil, seeking and burning all of its offspring wherever it may hide in our land. Violet demands the government ban and destroy all horological horror. For, as is written in the text, there is no reason or rhyme, no meaning or time, but Violet's dread love. The priest tries to light a match, but is dragged away by bodyguards and Sassy. I'll be honest, I don't like any of these. What was number 2? I didn't read it. Moving backwards in time. Mechanical watches from Smalltopia are still very popular. They have 27 rubies throughout the movement. Rubies! They put jewels in their watches. Go back to timekeeping of yesteryear to the luxury watch market. My ministry will organize the annual United Federation Luxury Watch Expo. Promote watches on the international stage. Sure, mechanical watches aren't as accurate, but they'll be more expensive. But to own a timeless piece of reproduction, chronological history, I assume they mean, truly priceless. You know what? We're gonna go with that. The well-to-do in the United Federations are never on time for appointments anymore. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's do a quick Twitter check. Not that I think there's anything going on. Yay, Beagle. Beagle! Beagles in the wind. That works. Honestly, I pretty much just ignore everything else on Twitter. Okay, coming on back to the view screen. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of people said Bird of Prey. Where are we? The flight stick. Not gonna rate that one. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey is embarrassed to admit his flight stick is phallic shaped. Mike Richards says it looks like a joystick, big and black. I knew it. Wesley Bird of Prey, Mount Prey is worried now. It's a what? Indiana O'Prey 5. What is the Matrix's shirt said? Save the planet, eat the children. Okay, yeah. I mean, that was ridiculous. Wesley wants that shirt. I'm sure somebody's selling it. John DeMarco says the thing is, AOC is so crazy. I thought this was legit at first. That's the thing. I could tell by something in her voice. It just wasn't right. What is the Matrix's eat? And also the fact she was trying to show her shirt. What is the Matrix is eat babies. I thought she was a vegetarian. Nicole says save the planet, eat an SJW. Lol. Ms. Lonsdale says there was a European scientist that says something about cannibalism being a solution to global warming. Yeah, I that's what she said. I thought, I mean, I figured that was probably real, but ridiculous. What is the Matrix is to me too, Wes. Stromore says, what did you think about AOC should be responsible for the actions of a crazy? There is plenty of things we should hold her responsible for. Exactly. No, you don't hold AOC responsible for that. It's not AOC's fault. In fact, I said at the beginning of this stream, as much as I hate defending AOC, I thought she did a very good job with that woman in dealing with the situation. I think it backfired on her, yes.
You know the reason she was able to handle that.
Why?
She was a bartender.
Mamo Prey comes up with a good point. The reason AOC had such a good easy time dealing with that woman, she was a bartender. Yes, very, very good, Mamo Prey. Wesley says, cool, now birds can fly planes. No. Roxas says, it's been a long time. It's been a long time getting from there to here. What is the Matrix? Says it was a good troll because it served its purpose, highlighting extremism. AOC utters incompetence and shady associations. I disagree. What is the Matrix? It was a bad troll because it made AOC look good because she did not go crazy and she dealt with the woman in a calm and professional manner. I actually have a raised opinion of AOC today than I did yesterday, and I don't want to have a raised opinion of AOC. Shroud Morse's eating SJW is dangerous. The meat is so bitter and toxic it can be lethal to a normal human. Wesley, save the planet, eat the alpacas. No, that's almost as bad. Ms. Londell says, was Schrodinger's cat really alive and dead at the same time? Yes. Except that he never actually did the experiment, but it was. If he had done the experiment, it would have been. Nicole is lolling. Admiral Saval says, have you ever heard it's a long Tipperary? No. I've never heard that, Admiral. Wesley says, bird of prey, you should sell shirts and say, save the planet, eat the alpacas. I don't think so. Sharon Moore says, Admiral... Sorry about that. Sharon Moore says, Admiral Saval, it's much quicker to get to Tipperary since they opened the M8 motorway. I have no idea what we're talking about. Darth Raven says, Admiral Saval, not from me, it's like 1 hour and a half. Haha. Mike Richards is the loudest anti-gays are the ones who keep getting caught in the airport men's room. That's true. What is the Matrix? It's not ridiculous to say that our personal lives overflow into our work lives, because it does. Absolutely. Shromore says, Miss Lundell, the cat was actually alive, but he was just so deeply asleep he looked like he's dead. That's not how it works. Oh, so Mama Pray just informed me It's a Long Way to Tipperary is a song that Doomcock sings all the time. So I guess I've heard of it, but I didn't know it by its title. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, this is one of my favorite things to watch, but I have a lot to get done today. No problem, Wes. I'm ending it very soon anyway. Thank you so much for hanging out. Dan23 says, I hate when people think you looked at them the wrong way and you didn't even look at them. Yeah, that would annoy me. Wesley says, what is the game? I know it's browser-based. Oh, nationstates.net. Wesley says, Sassy is alive. Yes, Sassy is alive. Admiral says, do you like Downtown Abbey? I do not. I know of Downtown Abbey. I've heard of it. I've never watched it, and I don't have any interest in watching it. British stuff I've watched. The British version of The Office. I think the American version is better. And Black Mirror was originally a British show. I was okay with Black Mirror until recently. I never got into Doctor Who. That's no secret. There's really not a lot of British stuff I can think of that I watched. What?
No, the cars.
The Cars? Oh, Top Gun! Not Top Gear!
Yeah.
Yes, the British Top Gear before they fired Jeremy Clarkson for punching the guy. Yes, the old Top Gear, that I was a good fan of. I love some of those Top Gear, those specials, when they went to the desert and they went to all these places. I never gave Jeeps a fair shot. Oh man, the time they went to Argentina. Top Gear. That was it. That was the #1 British show I used to watch. Top Gear. Thank you, Mama Pray. Mama Pray's on point today.
I found that I'm not going to run.
Yeah, Mama Pray had an eye doctor appointment today, and she got good news. Her eyes are a lot better than she thought they were.
I don't need reading.
And she doesn't need reading glasses. Very good for her. Shromore says, Bird of Prey, STD could be fixed by changing 3 little things. The scripts, the cast and crew, and the writers. Yes. What is the Matrix is powerful, Beagle? Yes. Wesley, beagles can fly? Sure, if it's windy enough. Dan23 says, yes, I'm following you on Twitter. Thank you, Dan23. Mike Richards says, flying beagles, and I thought pigeons were bad. What is the Matrix is laughing, and brilliant Mamo Prey. Or not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey doesn't hold AOC responsible, he just wants to hold AOC. As long as she's quiet. What is the Matrix is okay, let's split the difference. I give the troll at least a B because lots of folks are now talking about climate extremism. If that's the case, then okay, but I haven't seen it. I agree AOC didn't look bad in the situation, but she did look like a transvestite deer in headlights. I don't think she looked half bad. John Iraqi says, walk with the alpacas. Hashtag walk with the alpacas. Hashtag dance with AOC. Dan23 says, I live in the UK and I have no interest to watch Downtown Abbey. What is the Matrix? Says, I am starting to believe that alpacas will be the key to uniting the human race. It could be. Congrats on not needing glasses, Mount Well, she has glasses for distance. She always has. Like I do. But she doesn't need reading glasses. Dan Rogers says, yeah, Jeremy Clarkson also said that maybe he shouldn't bit racist. Just a bit. Shromore says, I haven't watched Top Gear since Clarkson, Hammond, and Captain Slow left the show. No, neither have I. I did watch the Grand Tour that they started doing on Amazon. I haven't watched it as much as I watched Top Gear, but I like the fact that it's there, and I might go watch. I've watched specific episodes of the Grand Tour, but it wasn't the same for me. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the same. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to call it a day for today. Anti-Trigger is going to be streaming later tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get on Space Engineers at some point. I'm going to put in those GPS coordinates for any fellow Kurogans in the house. I found a couple more platinum asteroids and a gold asteroid out there to get some nice resources. And remember, for everybody, the PCU limit is now working correctly and not the artificially low 40,000. Dan23 says, Matt LeBlanc, who was Joey and Friends, got put in Top Gear. At first, he didn't know anything about driving in England. I also like Top Gear USA, which was on the History Channel. Not Top Gear America, which then they started doing on some other channel. The one with the first 3 guys, Tanner and Rutledge and the guy from New York. Though that show I really liked a lot. Even though it didn't get great ratings, that I was a real fan of. But then it got canceled, and Then they replaced it with Top Gear America, which sucked. Farewell from Columbus, Ohio. Farewell, Mike Richards. John Iraqi, do you have any TPS coordinates for my bunghole? My bunghole will not wait. TPS. Nicole says, peace, all. Take care, Nicole. Dan tweets, Jeremy Clarkson has a show about cars on Amazon Prime. Yes, it's called The Grand Tour. The other two guys are with him too. It is a replacement for Top Gear, but it's not quite the same as Top Gear. It's pretty good, and I've watched one season and a handful of episodes from the next. What is the Matrix? Have a good Friday night, Bird of Prey, chat, and luminous beings. Good night, all. Qapla, remember to check out Anti-Tracker tonight. He's got something special planned. Qapla. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.